Cooking with the vegan zombie.
Hey! Welcome back to another episode of Cooking with the Vegan Zombie. Tonight, raw vegan cheesecake. It's still spring cleaning month for us, so we're gonna try to keep things a little raw. And what do we need for this recipe? I'm gonna show you. Now I gotta warn you, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel with this recipe. Cashews have been used to make raw vegan cheesecake for millions of years. So, what you have to do is soak 2 cups of cashews overnight. You need at least 8 hours to soak them. And you're also gonna need a high-speed blender for this. I have myself a Vitamix Turbo Blend. To that, we are gonna add a half a cup of frozen blueberries. Now, if you don't like blueberries, you can use a half a cup of whatever fruit you like. I've done it with strawberries, I've done it with pineapple, whatever you fancy. A quarter cup of agave. This recipe is really easy. It literally takes 5 minutes as long as you soak your nuts. Now, all we gotta do is turn it on. I got this little jammer tool because it gets a little thick down there. Blenders don't like real thick things. They just don't like to chew it up, you know? So this guy helps them out. I'm gonna start on low and then turn it on high after about a minute. Now, every once in a while, I might have to add a tablespoon of cold water. This consistency is actually perfect. You want it to just kind of stick like so. Set that mix aside and we'll get started on our crust. Guess what, guys? More nuts. Here we have a quarter cup of raw macadamia nuts and a quarter cup of raw walnuts. Now, if you have a food dehydrator at home, it's a great idea to soak your nuts for 4 to 8 hours and then dehydrate them for a day, because nuts and seeds actually have enzyme inhibitors to help protect them from the elements until the rain falls down and germinates them. So soaking it actually rinses away the enzyme inhibitors, ultimately making it more nutritious for you. But don't worry, guys. You won't die if you don't take that step. That was your lesson for the day. Now on to the crust. Pour those into a food processor. Add to it a tablespoon of extra virgin coconut oil. I'm gonna sweeten it up with a couple of pitted dates. I'm gonna break them up into little chunks here. Now, you don't need this. I know there's a lot of raw foodists out there who do not use salt at all, but I really love the depth of flavors you get with a little bit of Himalayan salt. So I'm all get a little pinch up in there. John, that was like a half a cup. I don't like to turn this thing on, I like to pulse it a little bit just to keep it nice and roughly chopped. Now you have it's a chunky crust here, held together by a little raw coconut oil and some of those dates. What I have found to work great for this recipe are these beautiful little spring molds where the bottom pops right out. I'm gonna take a little bit of extra virgin coconut oil and just coat the bottom and the sides. We're gonna start with pressing our crust into these molds. And then we're gonna add our blueberry mixture to the top. A little bit more up in there. Delicious. So what you have to do now, throw a rubber band around it with a piece of parchment paper to secure it, pop it in the freezer. See how easy this is? It's locked. What is this? Speak, friend, and enter. Friend. Nothing. Indy, what's the Elvish word for friend?
Belloc. It worked!
Here's what I like to do. I let it stay in the freezer overnight. I wake up in the morning, I take it from the freezer, I pull it out of that spring mold, throw it in the fridge, go to work, and I come home and it's ready to be enjoyed. And I just happen to have one finished right now. I put some nice fresh strawberries on there. Hey John, why are you putting fresh strawberries on a blueberry cheesecake? Because I do what I want. And of course, my favorite part, the taste test. such a delicious blend of flavors. I could eat this whole thing in one sitting, and I just might. As always, subscribe, survive, and I'll see you in another episode. If I make it out alive. Now, if you have a dehydrator, don't laugh, dude. I really, really love the I really love the flavor. Why can't I say flavor? It's like one of those things now. Now, whenever you're cooking raw, that's an oxymoron. Indy, what's the Elvish word for friend?